So welcome back to episode 2 of Return to Running, and this week is going to be a big week because not only am I progressing my running, but on Thursday I get my results for my A-levels, which will quite literally determine my future. So if you want to find out my results, then make sure to stick around for this video. And obviously right now it's only Monday, so it's the start of the week, and I'm doing my first run, which is 3 times 12.5 minutes with a 90-second walk between. So that totals just about 40 minutes, which is definitely the longest I've run since injury, but it's still not that far, which is why I'm going to add on a bit of elliptical work, just some easy cross training after I finish, just so I can get a little bit more easy zone 2 volume. And then I might also do a second session later today, provided that this run goes well and my legs are feeling good. But yeah, coming to the end of my run now, super happy with it because I barely felt my injury at all. Honestly, didn't even feel like I needed the 90-second walk break, but took them anyway just to be sensible, just to be safe. And yeah, super happy with it because very positive sign going forward. My injury is like almost completely healed. So like I said, very happy with how the morning session went, particularly the run, and now it's time for the second session of the day, and all it is going to be 60 minutes on the Stairmaster, and then the last 15 minutes just hopping onto the bike just to do some sort of like high speed intervals, like 10 times 30 seconds on and off. And yeah, that's it for the day. It's actually quite a decent volume day, but it's obviously been mostly zone 2. Future did in here to tell you and my past self that this was way too much for Monday. 2.5 hours, I mean, you can see here how much it was just way too much, which is why I'm complaining about being fatigued on Tuesday, which I should have expected. Right, coming to the end of my Stairmaster session now. How fastly can I transition onto the bike? Just over a minute long transition, poor. Right, this is the best angle I can get. Time for 10 times 30 seconds on off. Not all out, but just like a fairly hard effort. But yeah, starting the first one in 3, 2, 1. After my workout, I did some stretching, which I will admit I usually skip or just forget to do, but it is definitely important for me to do because with my injury, I don't want it tightening up, so I need to make sure I'm keeping it loose. So just did a few simple exercises before heading home, ready for the next day. So it's Tuesday, back in the gym, and despite being back to running, it does feel like I'm in the gym a lot still. But we've got a morning session of about 80 minutes, maybe 35 minutes on the elliptical and then 45 minutes on the bike. And the second session will be a run, followed by some strength work, and then that's it for today. I'll just have a nice, easy day on Wednesday. Oh, that was a hard morning session. When I started that 45 minutes on the elliptical, legs literally felt like they had nothing. So maybe I did a little bit too much volume yesterday, but I'm still glad I did that elliptical pre the bike class because honestly, it helped warm my legs up. Muscles felt less like they were going to fall off before that bike class. And so I was able to put in a decent shift on the bike. But I think mainly that was just because when you have an instructor and that music and people around you, it makes you push way harder than if you were to just do a solo bike session. So that definitely helped. But anyway, yeah, that's the hard session done for the day. And then I'm just going to chill out now until the afternoon where I'll have my run and gym session. So I'll catch up with you then. But yeah, good morning work. I forgot to mention, but the European Athletics started last night, so that's what I was watching. Of course, I saw Jakob Ingebrigtsen win the 5,000 metre. Honestly, I know some people find him a bit controversial. Personally, I think he's an awesome athlete. I really look up to him, and even more so at the moment, because obviously he just came back from injury, and he's already winning races and back on top. So hopefully, in a similar way, I can do the same sort of thing and maybe get some PBs of my own later this season or later this year. But for now though, this run is just going to be 3 times 15 minutes with 90 seconds walk between, and slight progression from yesterday's 3 times 12.5 minutes, and that'll total 45 minutes of running. And what a day for it too. Just finished the first 15 minutes on the 90-second walk right now, and on this second 15-minute block I am going to try running a little bit faster, not too much, but just faster than an easy pace, sort of like a steady kind of like tempo effort, just to see how my hip feels running at a slightly faster pace. And yeah, then on the third 15-minute block, just back to easy before heading off to the gym. 4:23 first K, not bad. 4:14 second one. 4:10 third one. Just about missed catching it, but the last sort of 600 meters was holding that 4:10 kilometer pace, so pretty good. I mean, I can feel it a little bit more than when I'm just running easy, because like when I'm running easy, barely feel my injury at all. I could slightly run faster, but given, you know, just over 4-minute kilometer pace at the end, you know, that's pretty decent. It is Wednesday now, so time for just a 2-hour cross training session, and that is it for the day. I'm going to probably mix it up quite a bit just so I don't get bored. Hour Stairmaster, 30-minute elliptical, 30-minute swim. I am getting very bored of cross training, but I'm just thinking each session that I do, because my running is becoming more and more of my training, cross training can become less and less. So in a couple of weeks, I won't be doing much at all. And if you're wondering what I listen to, I always just usually have a podcast playing. Sometimes it's music if it's higher intensity, and I just want that sort of more motivation. And very rarely, it's like a YouTube video or something if there aren't any good podcasts. And just like that, just over 2 hours later, and we are done. Walking back without a top on because it's 30 degrees and I actually forgot to pack a change of clothes for after the swim. But actually the swim was the best part because I've really been trying to crack being able to do 2 minutes per 100 meters continuously, and I got very close to it today. 2:01 per 100 meter for 1700 meters. So actually that's pretty good that I can hold that pace for that long. Still not quite dipped under 2 minutes though, but I think it will come. Before we get to Thursday, as you can probably see, there was a partial solar eclipse tonight. Pretty cool. Hopefully I don't blind you in this video. All right, it is results day. I'm literally just heading down on my way to school. It's about 5 to 8 and the results come out at 8 o'clock. So as soon as I arrive at school, I'm gonna be able to go in and get my results. And I just thought I really want to go into school because I'll get a physical copy of my results, and also because I want to see my teachers and my friends and get a few of them to sign my yearbook because I forgot to do that before the end of the year. And yeah, obviously I'll show you my results once I get them, and yeah, just really looking forward to it. Fingers crossed all things go well. A-star AA, exactly what I needed.
Oh, brilliant.
Checking my emails. Dylan, congratulations, you got your place. You're off to Loughborough, let's go. Just walking back from school now, and honest first impressions from my results, just you and me and the camera, and I'm very happy with biology because to get an A-star, I was not expecting that. It's the one I was the most worried about. I was worried I might not even get an A, and that's what I needed to get into Loughborough. So to get an A-star, super happy with that because biology was my favourite subject. I just found it the hardest. And then chemistry, to get an A, I'm still happy with that. I checked the grade boundaries. I'm 3 marks off an A-star. Don't think I'll get it remarked because, like I said, I got what I needed to get into Loughborough. The one I am annoyed with is psychology because that was supposed to be my guaranteed A-star. And to find out that that was my least closest to an A-star and the one that I basically performed worse on, it just amazes me. But like, you know, it at the end of the day, like I said, does it matter when I've got into Loughborough? No. Am I going to care in like 10 years time? No. So you know what, I'm going to just, you know, put it behind me and just enjoy that I've got what I've needed and I'm into Loughborough. Let's go. So what better way to celebrate my A-level results than to head to the track for my first session back since injury. Feels like it's been such a long time since I've been to the track. I mean, I guess it has, almost 9 weeks. And to be fair, I am mainly here for the social aspect because I'm not doing much for the session, just gonna join in for the warm-up and the drills and do my own session of like a 30-minute continuous run again, kind of like a tempo, but then not that quick. You know, it's not going to be any faster than 4 minutes per kilometre. In fact, given it's about 32 degrees right now, so very hot, I probably won't even get much down past 4:15 per kilometre.
It always comes when it's a short session, you know.
Why are you doing something different?
Yeah,
Alright, so my warm-up's done. I'm not going to get much of this session film because A, it's only a tempo run, B, I just want to soak up the atmosphere, enjoy it, not having to worry about filming myself, but have asked my friend if during the break in his session he can potentially film me, so there might be a few clips of me. But yeah, anyway, gonna enjoy this run now, and just, yeah, I'm not actually too hot, so I'm actually quite enjoying this very nice day. Very happy with that session. Just on my cool down now, maybe gonna do 10 to 15 minutes. But yeah, the 30-minute tempo went really well because I could feel my hip a bit at the start, but then about 10-15 minutes in I stopped noticing it. I also averaged 4-minute kilometre pace, which is faster than I was expecting, but more importantly, each mile got faster, so I eased into it and actually progressed, which is probably why it actually felt quite tough. Like, it genuinely felt like a full hard workout, which I should expect, because even though normally 4-minute kilometre pace as an average isn't too hard, but I've got to think, I've not run for like 8 weeks, so neuromuscularly, although I've been doing a lot of cross training, like my legs were just in general tired about halfway through, as though they were kind of saying, oh, this is a step up from what you've done before, but still able to tolerate it, got the work in, so very happy with it. Unfortunately though, before I go home, I do have to make a stop at the gym to do my rehab exercises. I'm not going to do a normal like 45-minute hour session, just 3 exercises, hopefully no more than 20 minutes, and then I can go home, have some dinner and just chill out. But yeah, very happy with today, because I mean, you know, it's a pretty good day when you're getting back to running, doing your first sort of workout, and you get your A-level results that get you into the uni that you want to. So yeah, certainly can't complain about anything today. Now, as usual, Friday's just a rest day, so I went for a walk, but when I came back there was a surprise parcel waiting for me. So I just got home to find this envelope. It looks like something from out of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But yeah, so I opened it up. It's from Loughborough Uni, and look at this. That is pretty cool. A known sort of, literally it's called a golden ticket, so it is quite like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, yeah, but it's got my sort of welcome to Loughborough thing, so yeah, pretty cool. And later that evening my grandparents came round because they come with me to watch the European Championships at the weekend, and of course to celebrate my A-level results. So we went out for dinner at this really nice Italian restaurant, and I got this really nice tuna and anchovy and onion pizza. So we've reached the weekend now, and it's time for my final run of the week. I'm gonna do my longest one yet today, 3 times 20 minutes with 90 seconds walk between.
Why are you here?
So that's 60 minutes of running. Still not quite long enough though for what I would call a long run, which is a shame because I haven't been able to do my long runs for such a long time. I actually do quite enjoy them, and what I'm going to do to make it into a long run is basically do that run and then straight afterwards finish at the gym, so I can go and do a bit of cross training afterwards to get to maybe 2 hours total, so that it kind of acts as the same sort of stimulus as a long run, just with a little bit less impact on my legs. Well, that was a very good morning session. It does feel though like I literally just finished and I'm already back off to the gym, because I basically finished my morning session and then came back, showered, had lunch, and now back off to the gym. Just have to let my food digest. It doesn't feel like it's been very long because, well, it hasn't. Ideally I would like to wait longer. I've mentioned before my gym shuts early at the weekend, and I have to say I have very little motivation to do this gym session, but like I always say, I'm going to get it done. I mean, that's just who I am. But yeah, it's just a bit of a grind at the moment. I am a bit fatigued, but things will start reducing next week once my running increases. So my strength sessions are always full body, but I only do a couple of upper body exercises. Ones that I think are really good because they target loads of muscles, and the 2 that I did today was overhead press, and then afterwards I also did some single arm rows, which helps target your back. And then this exercise that I've been doing for my injury specifically, and I do both times of the week, are step ups. And I've really noticed the progress since rehabbing my injury, where now both sides are pretty much symmetrical, which is good. And another one is calf raises, not because it's related to my injury, but it's just such an important exercise that I think all runners should do. Don't think anyone's going to disagree there. 2 angles I've shown you now, and I'd always recommend doing it single leg just because running is a single leg sport. And afterwards, a lovely Greek barbecue for dinner, some tzatziki, a couscous salad, and the main event, which were the prawns. Please don't eat me! No! It is Sunday, so I've got a big day, 45 minutes on the elliptical, and then a 30-minute hard bike class at the end, before doing another session later, which is just going to be a short sort of swim session, and it was going to be like a moderate sort of effort as well. And then later in the evening, we're going to head down to Birmingham Stadium to watch the European Athletics. Final session of the week. I realised I actually look quite weird in these goggles. That looks a bit better. I'm aiming to do a 1500 metre swim, and if I can, average under 2 minutes per 100 metres. So a sub 30 minute 1500 metre basically. Not the day. 2:02 per 100 metres, so a tad slower than my last attempt, which was 2:01, but still 30 minutes 30 seconds for 1500 metres. And then I did 4 50 metre efforts, and really surprisingly the last 3 were all sub 50 seconds. In fact, the last 2 were 48, so the last 2 were like joint PBs of all time for me, so I suppose I can't be too displeased. And to end what was already a very good week, me and my granddad headed down to the European Championships. We got to see a few medal ceremonies before starting the main events. The food prices were very expensive. Luckily, I brought my own water, and I love watching Georgia Hunter-Bell in the 1500 metre, a very dominant victory, and also seeing Mondo Duplantis have a go at the world record after being successful at getting the meet record. But probably my favourite event was the 4x100 mixed relay, where Amy Hunt managed to get her 4th gold medal.
Good handover, yes! 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 Yes, good handover again! Yes! Go on! Go boys! Go on! Rolling! Yes! Yes! Oh, gold medal! Yes! What a finish!
So a very good end to a very good week, but it doesn't stop there because I want to continue this momentum through. So make sure to stay tuned for next week's video of the Return to Running series by turning on notifications, and if you're not already, make sure to like and subscribe.